Thank you.
All right, February 6th. Have a good day.
You too.
Have a good one.
Hey, how you hang good? Ooh. Oh, what's going on here?
A little brevity.
Yes, which was needed at that time.
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
At the phone number she had provided, spoke to her at 10:20 a.m. and asked her to get a pen and paper to write down the important information. The phone disconnected, and every time that Miss Williams tried to recontact her, it went straight to voicemail, saying that the voicemail was full.
Yes. I'm using a very older Android phone. I'm not working right now, and this is the only phone in the house that I'm able to use. So it did disconnect, and I tried to call back, and I tried to get in contact with Miss Williams, and I could not. I did not know her name was Miss Wendy Williams, so maybe when I was asking the court that I need to speak with probation, they kept directing me to community corrections. I kept telling them that is not who I need to.
Ma'am, you are being directed to where you're supposed to be calling, which is community corrections. So
Is that where Miss?
Ma'am, I'm still talking. The last four digits of your number, is it 5694?
Yes, ma'am.
She's been calling that number.
And from which phone number has she been calling? Because the only time that I spoke with her,
I just indicated which number she was calling.
It was a 754 number that cannot be called back in order to contact her. And I did not receive any other calls from that number.
Your Honor.
Spoken with the 31
Miss Little, please.
number and
Miss Little, please stop talking.
Oh.
Your Honor, I have a number that I can put into the chat. Should she that she can call right now. I was just given that number by community corrections. It says that she can leave a voicemail if they are teaching a group and they cannot answer. They did try to call her on 10/27, 10/31, 11/3, and 11/6.
And if you put that in the chat, I am happy to write that down and contact her after to give her that number. That's not a problem. It sounds like there have been some communication issues here, clearly stemming from more our side than anything. So I need to see about rectifying that. If the court would allow, we'd be asking for time to do it.
I will email it directly to you, Jay, so you can give it to her.
Thank you.
Given that there's a pending felony in this case is getting adjourned. The adjournment date will be to November 28th at 10 o'clock a.m. The adjournment will be asked to both the violation of probation. There is also a new charge for failure to stop and identify after a property damage accident. That is the township case. Are you requesting that that be adjourned to the same date and time?
We are, Your Honor.
No objection.
Thank you. Adjourned to November 28th, 2023 at 10 o'clock a.m.
Well, I will receive a notice of that in the mail.
Bond is continued on each matter. Yes, ma'am, it is. You should write it down write it down as well in case something happens with the mail.
Number, you said the 28th?
Yes,
Correct.
the 28th at 10 a.m. And I'll be giving you a call after court.
To speak with the MRT leader, correct?
So that we can discuss everything that we need to.
Okay.
That being one of them.
And see everyone back here on November 28th.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. You're free to go, Miss Little.
Tank with a thing in the tank.
you know, there's a metal thing that just moves. The metal thing, I didn't know it. It was stuck open.
Oh, really?
And it will cause the check engine light, and that can save you a lot of money. Now, fortunately, I was able to call off but I was headed for the dealer.
Taking you this long to work that.
No, I didn't know that. Did you know that?
Because I've had to like look for that reason before.
Oh, did you? All right. Well, it's not in the owner's manual that I've got.
Helping everything.
Before you do anything, go check and make sure that the gas thing is, the gas nozzle is properly. But anyway, apparently air gets in there, and then there's a vacuum of some sort, and then some kind of like. Did you know that, Mike?
Mike knows everything.
Did you know about that?
You know, I actually took somebody's lawnmower and replaced their gas cap, and it ran for years when they couldn't get it started and they threw it out. So yeah, I know that gas caps are very important.
I'll be honest. Well, I didn't. That was the first one on me.
That's probably.
I remember doing this.
Well, I like to share those mistakes of mine for others not to make. But
Well, we thank you, Judge. Those that are challenged like myself.
that was a tricky one. I mean,
My daughter
Because
started that. It wouldn't start.
they said, "Did you check your cap?" And I go, "Yeah, the cap is sealed." And he goes, "No. Go open it up and then look and see if that little
I didn't know
metal
about
thing
that.
is in place." And it was open. Never had that. Anyway,
I remember the guy who drove around with a rag. He stuck it in there.
But if you're looking for
who
these,
had the rag?
He's not in prison anymore, Judge. You would know.
No,
But
this is showing up on November 9th, Judge.
this also was last month, Judge. Mr. Shrino was brought over.
Hey, I have some cases. I have Jonathan Montoya and Derek Johnson dismissals. Should I sign those? Those are from
Montoya, yes. That was on the plea that we just did.
Yeah,
I'm not aware of
we
it.
can that's done and put to bed. Okay. I've got Derek Johnson. Should I sign that?
Derek Johnson dismissal.
Yes, sir, Judge. He was previously convicted and we indicted him out here.
That case is dismissed 23 CR 1379. Derek Johnson. Also, Jonathan Montoya is 23 CR 1386 is now dismissed as well. And this is Cesar Mera. That's you, sir? Cesar Mera and Serrano. 20-34081 is called. You were here with Mr. Grove, your attorney and the state's attorney. There was a first amended motion to revoke probation in this, right?
Yes, sir.
Does the defendant waive a formal reading of this? Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, Your Honor.
In summary, this first amended motion to revoke unadjudicated probation filed on September 1st of this year states that on August 12th, 2021, in this case, you were placed on deferred or unadjudicated probation for assault on a public servant. Is all of that true and correct?
Yes.
What did you say this agreement was?
On the tablet today, it shows up for November 9th, but I know that they signed it last week on October 9th as well, Judge.
October.
You have a judge? I have.
Nope.
one That says.
I don't have October
November
9th.
9th.
What in the world are we doing with November 9th?
Well, this was set for a hearing, Judge, and this plea is coming from that.
I don't have anything on the
I'm-
queue past
I know,
today.
I'm signing it, Judge. Well, I'm fixing the dates.
All right, which allegation is he pleading to? Which one? Is it number 2?
Judge, the only one that deals with an offense, I believe, is the first amended count 2 and count 3.
Well, let's just do one.
The other ones, I think they're all,
Well, it only takes one.
Count 2, Judge.
Two states that you committed the offense of taking a weapon from an officer on or about August 8th, 2023 in Kendall County, Texas.
Judge,
Is that still pending?
Yes, sir.
Was he pleading true to that or not?
no, sir, I would ask the court not to let him plead for some of these other ones that are administrative, so he will not
Committed the
be.
offense of resisting arrest on or about
Yes,
August
sir.
8th in Kendall County.
He also has a urine test. He has not performed his community service hours. There are some other grounds, but I would rather not have him plead to taking a weapon from an
Let me
officer
ask you
in
on
Kendall
this.
County because I am not, I don't represent him there.
What's the deal on it? What's the deal?
The deal is 5 years.
5 years. Just
Well, this is serious. This is, I mean, a repeated allegation. Well, you pleaded true to this indictment, which was causing bodily injury to a peace officer. Now you've got on my watch here, while you were under this court's probation, taking a weapon from an officer and also resisting arrest.
Those are both out of the same incident. He was in a tussle with the officer there and
It sounds bad to me.
resisting the arrest and taking his taser is what he did, Judge.
Well, that doesn't sound good to me. It sounds kind of like you can't, you fight with police officers and you don't respect authority.
Judge, I'm not trying to tell the court the entire thing, but there was also some indications from talking to the people in Kendall County that he had some mental problems, that he'd been reported, that he'd been taken to a mental hospital
Did they
in San
indict him?
Antonio.
They did. They evaluated him and he had been released. So I can affirm that's true. But I can also affirm from talking to the witnesses on this that they took every method to work with him and he was just unreasonable. He was uncontrollable on that day, Judge.
Judge,
That
I'm
doesn't sound
concerned.
good.
No, sir. But I have talked to the officer. He is available to come for the hearing date. He knows that we have this agreement. He approves it. I'm asking the court to approve it. My preference is that he at minimum enter a plea to either count 2 or 3.
The one in this indictment?
No, the officer.
One's out of Kendall County.
Yep,
We got
one's
a lot
out
of
of-
officers here involved as victims, it sounds like.
I'm referencing, my comments are about the officer out of Vernon. I have not recontacted the officers in regards to this agreement. I was in contact with them before I gave the probation offer that I did to Mr. Roebuck on this case originally.
And then there, not the least of which here is he's showing positive for cocaine.
Yes, sir.
Where was that?
That was here in Jefferson County after he was arrested and brought back to Jefferson County.
Okay, they brought him pretty quick.
I believe.
Brought him pretty quickly. And so he was in custody in Kendall County. Then they brought him here. Right?
He was in a mental hospital from August the 8th until August the 14th. And he was released when he came to report to us on August 17th.
Oh, okay. He was not. Okay. Well, how did he, on the assaults, what did he do, bond out?
Well, they took him into a mental health evaluation from this incident.
And then they just released him. They didn't pick him back up?
They picked him up and brought him back to the hospital. And then he was committed to the mental hospital.
I believe he was released from the mental hospital.
And then what did he do when he was released from the mental hospital?
His family brought him back here.
Yeah. And then he shows positive for cocaine on the way. He stops and gets him some cocaine.
Either that or it was in his system from the.
For a week? I don't think so.
I don't know.
Well, Judge, he was, I don't know what he took. I don't know what.
I'm not naive
He was in
to
the
that.
hospital for a week. Judge, I just feel very reluctant because he does have that other charge.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that your charge is not serious because it is serious.
Yes, sir.
No, he's looking at 20 years in prison. To me, I find
Yes,
that pretty
Let me find this,
serious.
Judge.
But
I thought I had.
this is, but fighting with the police is ridiculous. Ridiculous. On probation, fighting. So you're on probation for it, so you quite naturally fight with the police. And then you're tested positive for cocaine. What do you do right? All you do is you're committing all kinds of crimes.
Yes, sir. I lived 13 when coming to the hospital.
Shame on you.
Yeah.
Who'd you get your cocaine from?
Nobody.
Oh, okay. So you tested positive for cocaine and you don't know how that happened? It was a miraculous event?
Yeah, because
A miraculous event.
But you know, I did the wrong stuff. And I apologize for it.
Wait a second. Okay. He was on 5 years deferred probation before he even came to us for assault on a public servant. In this county?
I don't think that's right, Judge.
I
Well,
don't
that's what
believe
the
that's
pre-sentence
correct.
report was.
He had a prior DWI.
Can you check? Are you from around here? Are you a citizen of the United States? Are you a citizen of the United States?
No, sir. No, Judge, this one that you're referencing, that's the offense that he's on probation for. All of those arose out of the same incident and we resolved it in one probation.
No, that's not flying by me. No, and to compound it that you're not even a citizen of the United States. We welcome you, and all you do is assault police officers and take cocaine. No, shame on you. Shame on you. We'll set this for a hearing on a motion to revoke probation hearing, and we'll see what happens, and we'll go from there. I'm not accepting a deal here on this.
Yes, sir.
This is not appropriate behavior for anyone, citizen or non-citizen, but shame on you for not following the rules. All right. I'm gonna set it in 4 weeks. Tell me, and if you can't be ready, let me know.
Yes.
All right. What's it? Kevin, how about you?
Well, you received an email. Not subpoena an email. You gonna leave that in there?
Well, subpoena him.
I'm not gonna do that to a law enforcement officer, Your Honor.
I'm gonna have to put together in those paper. So.
He was not gonna cooperate with us and in fairness, Judge, the officer was willing to come, his supervisor would not allow him.
I'm shocked. I mean, I'm truly shocked. So, this defendant who is on probation for assault on a public servant, which is what? Let's see. Hold on. Let's get a second-degree felony. Is alleged to have attempted to take a weapon from an officer, committed the offense of resisting arrest of search from an officer. Two serious offenses. And law enforcement in this state is refusing to cooperate with these allegations here in Jefferson County on a fellow law enforcement officer that was put in harm's way.
It would not authorize a 6-hour one-way trip to come and testify, Judge.
Yeah.
I will remind Your Honor that this was, we had pled this. He actually pled true to the accusation that we're talking about. The agreement was 5 years. Your Honor rejected that agreement and set it for a hearing. At that time, I had already spoken with the witness on multiple occasions in preparation. And as I said, he was cooperating, and he was cooperative up until his supervisor told him he couldn't come. I'm not putting his job in jeopardy. I'm just informing the court what's going on.
But they,
Yes, sir.
they take an oath to uphold the laws of the state of Texas and the United States, and this is part of it. This is the way the laws work.
Judge,
But they decided what laws they want to follow. That just is shocking.
Frankly, we've had this trouble out of Houston area places as well, and that's a lot closer.
What's Kendall County? What's this?
Bernie, Texas.
Bernie.
He still will have to face these charges there, Judge. They're still pending to my last verification.
So, without just normal, decent, customary assistance from a fellow executive branch of government here in in this state of Texas, we have turned two serious offenses in a motion to revoke probation into, well, really, I guess you've got number one, the urine sample.
Yes, sir.
And number
I can proceed on 4
and 5.
Yes, sir.
Which are, serious, but not as serious as an attempt to take a weapon from an officer or resist arrest. And the defendant, my God, is on probation for assault of a public servant. And I would think an allegation of trying to take a weapon from an officer and resisting arrest are pretty much in the same general subject matter, which would be highly probative of the circumstances around this offense. I'm shocked, but I didn't think that Texas had gotten to that point where they were not going to help another law enforcement agency in this state on a second-degree felony when it involves assault on a peace officer both times. I can't imagine. So much for the old saying of they're in it together. That's a terrible thing. And this is not like coming from another hemisphere or another state. My goodness. Bernie's about 3.5 hours away, and they don't want to do it. That's terrible. That's terrible. So folks who are charged with this behavior get free passes, is what happens on that. I can't believe that in 2023 we have digressed rather than progressed in this. That's terrible. I've never heard of it. I understand if it was from another country, but not another county. All right. Then
in 234081, the state of Texas versus Cesar Marin Sorrento, you're Mr. Sorrento. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any statements you make today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? So lower your hand. Does the defendant waive a formal reading of this first amended motion to revoke unadjudicated probation? Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, Your Honor.
In summary, this alleges that on August 12th, 2021, you were placed on 5 years deferred or unadjudicated probation in this court for assault on a public servant, a second-degree felony. Is that true? No. Allegation 1 states you provided a urine sample on or about August 17th, 2023, which showed the presence of cocaine in your system in violation of your probation order condition 10. Is that true or untrue? Sir.
Sir.
Right. Number 4 alleges that you failed to immediately report to your probation officer your arrest in Kendall County, Texas, in violation of condition 9 of your probation order, which requires you to promptly report. It says immediately report to your probation officer any arrest. Did you fail to do that? And is that true?
Yeah, no report, yes, no report because I've been in the hospital, so.
Well, did you ever report it at all? Did you ever report it to your probation office after you got out of the hospital? No?
No.
I mean, you could have reported it sometime, right?
Yes.
But you never did.
I tried calling 2 times.
You called 2 times who?
2 times for probation officer.
Well, what did they say?
No answer, so they didn't call me back.
Oh, they've never. I only call them 3 or 4 times a day and they've never failed to answer. And I just call the front desk.
No, yeah.
I do it every day. I've never had that problem. Well, okay, you called a couple. Why didn't you call a 3rd time or a 4th time or a 5th time? Because they're at their office all day.
Yeah, because they didn't call me back when.
They were having to call you back?
Yeah, him called me back.
You had to call them, sir.
No, him called me back. When I called 2 times.
He's referring to the supervising officer in Kendall County.
In Kendall County.
Mm-hmm.
Courtesy supervision. So he was referring to the officer.
Judge, could I ask him a few questions?
Hold on, number 5. Let's go to number 5. Yeah. You failed to provide verification of performing community service hours. And let's see. It says you have failed to perform the community service hours. You were required to perform 800 service hours. And that was from the outset of your probation on August 12th of 2021, which would have been 2 years and 3 or 4 months, 26, 27 months. And according to the first amended administrative hearing sent to this court in a memo from Ms. Martinez here, it states that you have performed 0 hours of community service. Is that true or untrue?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Are you pleading true then to allegations 1, the urine sample in August 17th of 23 that tested positive for cocaine, and true to number 5, failing to perform community service hours as required? Are you pleading true voluntarily and because those are true as they are alleged?
No, I'll do it wrong, sir.
Are you admitting that
Sorry.
that you failed to do those?
Yes, sir.
Or okay. Or do you understand that 1 or more violations of your probation are enough if I find by a preponderance of the evidence or greater, greater weight of the credible evidence, if those are true, that is enough for the court's discretion, to grant the motion to revoke probation. Your probation can now be revoked. And you're looking at no less than 2 nor more than 20 years confinement, right? This is a second-degree felony. Correct, everybody? Anybody? It says second degree on the judgment or order. So, knowing that, do you insist on pleading true today?
What is it?
Yes? You have to speak. And that means you're going to place it in my hands.
Yes.
Is that what you want to do? I know what you want to say, but it's my decision. Do you understand? Okay, you're going to get a chance to be heard here in a minute to tell me what you want. But do you understand? I can find you guilty and sentence you no less than 2 nor more than 20 years confined.
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you insist on pleading true today?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Grove. Mr. Grove is a very fine man, and he's going to do a good job for you. Go ahead, David.
Sir, let me ask you a couple of questions. As I understand it, checking the dates here, on count 1 was on August the 17th, 2023. That would have been this summer, wouldn't it? It would have been this last summer. Right? Oh, talking to you. Yeah. I'm sorry.
He's talking to you.
Okay, I apologize. That was not very fair on my part. Now, what happened on this number 1 was you were taken to the hospital in Bernie, Texas, a few days before August the 17th of this year and put in a hospital. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You were then taken from a medical hospital in Bernie, Texas to a mental hospital in San Antonio. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And then after several days, and I'm not sure how many days, but I believe it was 4 or 5 days, you were released from the mental hospital in San Antonio. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then your family brought you back to Port Arthur, Texas, where you appeared before the probation department on August the 17th of this year. In other words, right after you got out of the hospital in San Antonio, you went to Port Arthur, Texas. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And you appeared, and that is where you had the positive drug test for cocaine. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. You know where that cocaine came from?
I don't know. I did. Yes, sir.
Okay. At the time when you were in the hospital in San Antonio, they were giving you a number of medications, weren't they?
Yeah.
All right. Now, currently you were taking, or about that same time, you were taking flaxidine,
Yes, sir.
a B-Pro pill. You also had a respirator
Yes, sir.
and a clonazepam. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You were taking all those pills plus any other prescriptions they gave you in the hospital.
Yeah, taking all these pills.
And you don't know all the things that you were taking while you were in the hospital, but you at least know you were taking that many pills on a daily basis, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then you also have not, on count 5, you have admitted to the judge that you have not done any community service hours while you've been on probation. Is that right? Okay. Why haven't you done any community service hours?
Oh, because never tell me I gotta do it, so.
Okay. They never told you you had to do it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. During the time when you were on probation from 2021 until, till today, have you made the payments you were supposed to make that you were ordered by Judge Stevens?
Every month.
Did you miss any payments while you were out in the free world?
No.
Okay. While you were in jail, you could not make any payments because you weren't earning any money. All right. Did you not report to the probation department on any occasions?
No, sir.
Okay. What would you like for Judge Stevens to do with your probation for the rest of your probation?
Oh, they wanna give me 5 more years probation and do my payments and put me in colors. And I love my family. I'm so sorry, when I do it.
All right, you'd like the judge to leave you on probation,
Yes, sir.
give you 5 more years probation, is what you said. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
But keep you on probation where you could be in the community.
Yes, sir.
And you also said that if the judge wanted you to do some penitentiary time or jail time, you wanted to do that on weekends if you could.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything else you'd like the judge to know about what you would like him to do if he were to give you an option to stay on probation? You've talked about your family. You want to be with your family, so you can be with your family. Anything else? Tell the judge.
Anything else? So I'll never fight again when the police. Never. I go straight to the church there, and I don't come back here.
I'll pass the witness to him.
Don't have any questions in this witness, Judge.
Let me get this straight. You were placed on probation for assaulting a public servant, second-degree felony. We gave you a second chance. You have admitted to testing positive for cocaine in violation of your probation order and failing to provide verification of community service hours. But like I said, you're on probation for over 2 years and you haven't performed 1 community service hour. I'm not even going to consider the truly disappointing lack of effort from Kendall County to support their charges that they instituted that are part of this probation order. That was part of this motion to revoke probation that included 2 new crimes, 2 criminal offenses, which and not the least of which is taking a weapon from an officer. But all of this, sir, you've been, I'm looking at your criminal history here and it dates to 2019 with the assault. That's in, that you were placed on probation for. So that's going back, what, about 4 years now? The event goes back over 4 years. And is this correct from what I'm reading here in these papers, that you are not even a citizen of the United States? You're not a citizen of the United States, are you? Well, we welcome all people who want to come to America, but we don't want you to make it worse and make a mess. You've been here since 2019. What have you done to try to get your citizenship and become and matriculate into America like my relatives did, for example, just 3 generations ago? But you're not even a citizen of the United States and you're making a mess everywhere.
Yes. I don't know what happened to me since.
You can make choices like I do.
No,
I'm sure you. America is a dream that you have to put work into. You have to follow the rules. You have to work together with everyone. You're not doing any of that. You're just working for yourself. You're being selfish, not selfless. We're supposed to be all in this together.
yes,
But you want to work against the rules. But that's not what the dream of America is about. It's not supposed to be selfish. It's supposed to be working together so we all move forward together. Well, there is enough evidence here by a preponderance of the evidence or greater to grant this first amended motion to revoke unadjudicated probation by a preponderance of the evidence or greater, as I find allegations 1 and 5 are proven true. Your deferred or unadjudicated probation is now revoked. Earlier in this case, you pleaded guilty to the second-degree felony of assault of a public servant voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently. There was sufficient evidence from your plea of guilty, a knowing and voluntary plea of guilty, to support the allegations in the indictment to prove them beyond a reasonable doubt or greater. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this underlying second-degree felony. As your probation is revoked, you are hereby found guilty and sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 10 years. You will be given credit for all time you have served in conjunction with this case. If you want to stay in America, I urge you to become part of America and follow the rules and respect others and live peaceably. That's my hope for you. You have not proven to do that. You now you got this other mess in Kendall County where it's very serious. Again, you just don't seem to, you seem to abuse authority. And when you assault a public servant, you're spitting on that flag. because that's what they stand for. They wear the flag on their shoulder. It stands for the ideals that we all believe in. You're here for some good reason. You must want to be here, but you've got to be a part of it in the right way. You can't be a part of it by being a felon, a criminal. You've got to follow the rules and live peaceably, sir. That's my wish for you. And I wish you would start doing that and respecting the laws. That is all. Thank you. All right. Kevin, you got something?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's take care of your person.
Part proceeds as one finger. Yeah.
What, this is going to be Mr. Duke.